Hey my craft friends, are you ready to DIY the most incredibly fun wood project? If so, you've arrived at the right video. My name's Tracy and this is Sweet Bay Lane, just in case you're new here. And if you're not new, you already know I love working with the Dollar Tree wood supplies. And I know a lot of you do too, because of your kind, supportive, and helpful comments you leave in my videos. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the project. We start our project with 4 of these wood planks and some wood glue from the Dollar Tree. The wood planks measure 5.5 inches wide by 11 inches long, and we're going to glue 2 of them together, making 2 pieces of wood that measure 11 inches by 11 inches square. Now that we have those glued together, we set them aside to dry, and we're going to move on to these wood slats. You'll need 8 of these wood slats, and they measure 1.5 inches by 12 inches long. Now I needed mine to be 11 inches long, and I just cut them down with a hand miter saw. We're just going to take our wood glue, and we're going to glue 2 of the wood slats together. So we're going to take our 8 pieces and turn them into 4 pieces of wood. And once those are dried, we're going to bring back in our little plank wood that we glued together that measures 11.5 by 11.5 inches. And we're going to take our wood slats that we glued together, and we're going to glue those standing up on the top side of our wood square. And now that those are dry, we're going to bring in our second wood square, and we're going to glue that right on top of our wood slats. And to help this dry a little better, I just put a little weight on top. And then once that's dried completely, we're going to bring back in our 2 remaining wood slats that we glued together, and we're going to glue those on top of the wood square, as I'm showing you here. And once our sides have dried, we're going to start working with 5 of these wood slats. They measure 1.5 inches by 12 inches, and we're going to glue them on the open sides of our wood box, creating a crate. And we start by gluing one of the slats down at the very bottom of our wood box. And then we're going to glue another one across the crossbar part of our wood box. I also weighted them down just to make sure they were good and secure. Once those dried, I flipped it over and I glued one of the wood slats on the crossbar of this side of our wood crate and the very top of our open part of our wood crate, leaving the bottom part of our wood crate open. And once I had these two glued on, I then flipped it back over and glued one at the top on this side as well. And for a bit more security, I used these 1-ounce wire nails. I hammered 2 nails in each side of my wood slats for a total of 4 nails per slat. Now that we have our nails in, we're going to be working with 2 of these pieces of wood that are called 1x2s, and they measure 12 inches long. And I'm going to start by finding the center of the sides of my wood crate, because we are eventually going to attach them as our handle for our wood crate. Hey, if you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. And once we figured out where we're going to place our 1x2s, we're now going to come in with a drill and a 5/8 inch spade bit, and we're going to drill our holes. And to do this, we'll just start by finding the center of our 1x2s and measuring down 1 inch from the top. And then we'll just drill our holes. Because eventually what we want to do is put this dowel rod in our holes at the top of our 1x2s, creating a handle for our wood crate. Now mine just happened to be 5/8 inch wood dowel, but you can use whatever size you're comfortable with. You could also use another 1x2 and use screws as well. And once we have our holes drilled, we're now going to secure them to the sides of our wood crate with some wood glue. And once we have them attached, we're then going to glue in our wood dowel. And I used a little bit of painter's tape to keep it together until it dried. I also used some wood clamps to keep the handles in place while I glued the dowel. And this next step is completely optional. I'm going to use some stencils I have on hand and give my crate a little bit of design on the front side. I'm going to use these little scroll stencils, some roses, and then I'm going to paint the bottom edge of my wood crate black, along with the dowel handle. But like I said, you could do any design. You could paint it, stain it, whatever you prefer. And once I had my box stenciled, I then came in with this Rust-Oleum clear coat and gave it 2 good coats. And once the clear coat has dried, you're left with this beautiful little cookout caddy. I think it's so much fun that it holds the paper plates and then all of your silverware and your condiments and whatever else you have to put up there. It holds a lot of stuff. Well, I hope this inspires you to make one of your own. And if you're still in the crafting spirit, go ahead and click on one of these next videos coming up. Well, until next time, make sure and keep it crafty.